Y'all, so I am on my way to go get Carrie, and I just passed somebody that's pulled over, and they got two cops behind them. And it reminded me of this situation when I was still in Tulsa, y'all, and I had my little 92 Saturn. And my friend at the time, Vicky, she was like, she wanted a knee-high peach. She was craving knee-high peach. I think she was pregnant too at this time. I think I'm not sure, can't remember, but she was craving some soda. No, she was not pregnant at this time, or at least we didn't know she was pregnant at this time. She was craving some soda, and so she was like, you take me to the store and go get some. Now, me being me, I'm thinking she want to go to the Quick Trip. I know she just would have just went to the little corner store or whatever, but so I will take her whatever, right? Y'all, on our way back, I get pulled over. Y'all, I did not have a license. I don't even know if I had insurance on that car at that time. I think I had. No, I want to say my insurance wasn't even legit at that time. I want to say. So we get pulled over, right? And I'm like, oh man, I'm like, they about to tow my car. I just know it's like about to be a whole bunch of stuff. And so I started praying. I was like, God, if you get me out of this one, please, I'll make sure I take care of my license stuff as soon as I can. And we sitting there, and then another cop pulled up. Another sheriff pulled up. And I said, oh, I'm a goner. Vicky said, God dang, we about to be. I said, man. So we sitting there, we waiting on them to come back up, you know. And they finally walked back up and tell us we could go. Now, at the time, I didn't know why they let us go, because they had every reason to tow my car, okay, and give me a ticket. They did not do neither. And I had no clue at the time why. So there was this guy who knew, I'm going to say she was a friend of mine. I used to call her my godmom, but I'm going to say a friend of mine. And this guy was a P word. Yeah, I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. And he used to try to do like little things, like after my goddad passed away or whatever. Okay, I can't tell y'all without telling y'all all of it. So basically, my goddad, my godmom had a shop. I used to work in a shop. Dude used to do deliveries sometimes for the shop, like he would deliver different merchandise and stuff or whatever, right? And so anytime he would come to the shop, my goddad would make me go in the back. He'd never let me talk to him. He always thought something was weird with the dude and all this other stuff, right? Boom, fast forward. He passes away. My godmom still was cool with the dude or whatever, right? And so she like had given my information to him or whatever. Like that's a whole nother story too, y'all. Anyways, and so he'll be texting me like he'll pay me to come clean up, and he'll pay me to do all this other stuff, whatever. But I always had this feeling about him, so I never went to his place, y'all, right? So like I just never felt comfortable going to his place alone. With it being just me and him. Something was just always off about the guy. Something was just always off about him. Well, long story short, y'all, he was the reason why they let me go. He was a sheriff. I did not know at the time why they let me go. But that's one of the instances where God will put people in your life, and you could think like, why would God put this type of person in my life? Why would God Because in whole time they gonna serve a purpose. Whole time they could be trying to hurt you, they could be trying to do, but the same things that can try to hurt you can literally serve a purpose in helping you from something else. Like, that man was a whole P word. A whole P word. And there is a story, I don't know if I ever told the story on my YouTube channel or not. I think I did. I don't know. I think I I don't know if I ever told the story about what happened when me and my godmom stayed at his house, and he was supposed to be going out of town with his friends to a car show. I don't know if I ever told that story, but you know what? Maybe it's time for me to tell the story. I don't know. If I haven't told it, I'm gonna go look. If I haven't told it, maybe it's, or you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. So, remember I told y'all he was always like trying to pay me to do stuff or whatever, because it was my senior year. It was my senior year in high school. And so, you know, senior year, you got a lot of stuff to pay for, right? And I quit my job, AT&T. I quit them in January. I still had months to go, and I still had stuff I had to do. And so that's why he would always be like, you can come do this, you can come do that, and all this other stuff. Well, anyways, he tells my godmom, he's like, y'all can house sit for me this weekend, and I'll pay y'all to house sit for me and watch my son, because he had a son, and watch his son while he goes out of town. He was supposed to go to Kansas for a car show or whatever, right? So me and my godmom go to the town where he is, because it was not inside of Tulsa, it was on the outskirts of Tulsa. And you know, I got my overnight bag and all that other stuff. She got her stuff, all that. And so something just didn't feel right, y'all. Something didn't feel right. I didn't know what didn't feel right. I just knew that something did not feel right. So I'm literally texting my boyfriend at the time. I'm texting my friends at the time. I'm texting everybody, because we were supposed to, everybody went bowling that night or whatever. And instead of me going bowling, I went with her because she didn't want to go by herself. And so I'm texting her. I'm like, yo, if something happened to me, this is where I'm at. This is the address. This is where I'm at. If you don't hear from me in 30 minutes, this is where I'm at. If you don't hear from me by the end of the night, this is where I'm at. Like, I'm texting everybody, and I'm telling them, like, I just don't know, but here you go, right? So when we on the way to his house, she's like, let's stop and get something to eat or whatever, you know, blase, blase. I'm like, okay. So we stopped at Arby's, I think. Yeah. And I don't know if, I think I might have got some potato cakes or something. And she's like, that's all you want? You're not hungry? You know, you don't want a whole meal or nothing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I'm not hungry. She's like, you sure you don't want nothing to drink? I'm like, no, I don't want nothing to drink. Okay. So we get back to the house, doing my invitations and stuff, because I was writing my invitations so I could hand them out and all that. And we're sitting at the table, at the dining room table. He's not there. It's just me and her. We done both already took our showers and all this other stuff. Like, she was like, you know, go ahead and take your shower and stuff, you know, that way you don't have to do it later, blah, blah, blah. So we done already did all this stuff, right? So as I'm sitting at the table, I'm doing my invitations, she kept trying to offer me a drink. And she was like, you want a wine cooler? She offered me a wine cooler. Now, I was like, no, I don't want a wine cooler. She's like, it's not going to do nothing to you. It's not going to. But what was weird to me was the fact that she kept offering me a drink. That's the part that made me uneasy. Something wasn't right. From the time me and her got back together and started hanging out to up to this moment, something had already felt off about the whole situation. So she kept trying, and I was like, no, I'm not thirsty. And so then I'm texting my dude. I'm like, something really off. Something really ain't right. Da 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 da. Fast forward, we maybe been there for like an hour, maybe an hour, barely an hour, maybe an hour and a half. We weren't there like just hours long, okay? Next thing I know, I hear the garage coming up. I look at her. She look at me. I said, who could be coming? Oh, that's the other part that I forgot, y'all. So, miraculously, his son ends up not being there this day. So, instead of us having to watch the son miraculously ended up going to go spend a night at his friend's. So, now we're just house sitting. So, I'm like, who in the garage? Who coming up the garage? You know, I'm like, I ain't got no peace on me. I ain't got nothing, baby. I'm out in the wild with nothing. Who coming in the garage? She looking at me like she's surprised, like she don't know, right? In walks the guy. And I'm like, you supposed to be alone. from here by now. Like, what are you doing here? And he's looking at me wide awake. You know, and I was like, I said, oh, okay, well, since you're back, I guess I can go ahead and go bowling with my friends. When I seen him, I knew then, y'all. I knew exactly why she kept trying to offer me a drink. And so I immediately knew then why she kept trying to offer me a drink. The girl was trying to roofie me for the man. Like, it is wild because she never apologized. She never like admitted it or nothing, y'all. But the whole ride home, when she was taking me to my man, she was like, what was she saying? She was like, don't you think it was kind of weird how he just came back? Do you think it was kind of weird? Like, she was asking me like all of these crazy questions or whatever. And I was just like, why is she asking me all of this? And as soon as I got with my man, I just started crying. I started boo-hooing. I said, man, she really tried to set me up. Like, she really tried to set me up. And you know how they say that they'll like first push boundaries to see like how far they can go? That's literally what it was. Like, the first time we all got together, they pushed the boundary of taking me far out where my cell phone wasn't working no more. And then they were like, oh, your mama haven't called you, your mama haven't texted you, your mama haven't da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, no, you know, she didn't call me, whatever. That was the first boundary. Now, as an adult, I realized all of the, you know, different things or whatever. But when I was a child, I was still a child. That's why I always say, people be like, oh, 18, you grown, this and this and that. I will never, like, you are not grown just because you're 18. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. You are still a child when you are 18. So, you know, they were pushing boundaries to see what they could get away with. Long story short. And so once I realized what happened, I completely cut her off. Like, I didn't want nothing else to do with her, because that literally broke my heart. Because, I mean, I understand your husband passed away and you might have been hard up for money. But to do to me what your mom did to you, what you told me your mom did to you, is crazy. And you used to say that you looked at me like I was your daughter, you know? That's literally what she used to say. She used to say she looked at me like I was her daughter. And I was the daughter that she never had. But I remember us sitting and talking one time, and she was telling me about how her mom used to dress them up and do, you know what I mean? And so when I really played it all back, and I was like, she felt like she didn't have no other way. She didn't know what else to do. She didn't know what else to do. And it's not an excuse. And it's not me making an excuse for her. But, you know, it's unfortunate that it happened. But the whole reason why I was telling the story was just to say that sometimes the devil will bring people on your path thinking he's going to hurt you, and the whole time they'll end up helping you. That was the whole reason why I even want to talk about it. I didn't come to say all of that. But I could not tell y'all one part and not tell y'all all of it. So that's the whole story. But anyways, let me get this girl, y'all. Bye.